Okay, even if they have a Truant slacking, like, you can at least prepare for that. Like, that Swampert, you have over...
Yes, but what if I don't run into any grass types?
That's a good thing. That's its only weakness.
I was thinking if the rival had the swamp.
Yeah,
He got the Swampert anyway.
Yeah, that Swampert's fucking... That's stupid strong, especially early game.
Yes.
Well, we've kind of given ourselves a little bit of a warm-up. Welcome back to the Gamers Without a Pause channel.
Hello.
Hello.
My whole run ended right before Sudowoodo.
Sudowoodo would have been randomized too, right?
Funny enough, I didn't think this was going to be a Pokemon-focused episode. But
No, I just wanted to say how this whole thing ended. I was just down to my Survivor and my nose pass. I'm just like, okay, need to keep going. Let's go see what the Sudowoodo is. And then that trainer right outside there, motherfucker had to cure him. Yeah, they ended my run pretty damn good.
Destroyed nose pass, and then Survivor's just not gonna have the stats to attack it. So you can. I don't even think you can evolve nose pass. Maybe you can evolve nose pass after like late game, because I think you have to evolve it.
Does it have to be at a certain location?
It had to be like in the not Charge Stone. That's Gen 5. Yeah, it has to be like I think it had to be a certain location.
I think there is an option in the randomizer to just like force evolve Pokemon at a certain level.
That'd be cool.
So like, hey,
yeah,
I can get an Alakazam if I have a Kadabra.
Yeah, because that wouldn't be fair if you got like Kadabra and you had the trade. It's like, well, obviously I can't do this.
I can't do that.
Or like,
this is an emulator.
Oh, you have to evolve it in a specific location for this game that it was part of. It's like, well, I'm not playing that game. That would make sense.
No, sir. How am I supposed to...
Oh my god. Okay.
Son, it's just... What, am I supposed to flip my PC upside down to get a Malamar?
Alright, so Gopher's been driving himself insane with more Nuzlocking.
That and Kana, Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, that's what you told me you were playing the other day.
What are you been playing?
Kana, Bridge of Spirits.
Kano, the Mortal
Kombat character?
Yeah,
yes.
They did Sub-Zero, and now they're finally doing
They did
Kano.
Sub-Zero and Special Forces, now they're doing Kano mythologies.
Well, if you know anything about Kana, Bridge of Spirits, you would see that Kano would be a perfect stand-in for Kana.
What's that about?
It's a lot of like spiritual cleansing stuff.
It looked pretty. I only seen screenshots.
Yeah, it's like a DreamWorks game.
That's cool. Is there customization? Can you customize your own character?
No, you were stuck as Kana, but at some point in the game you can do challenges to unlock like different outfits and stuff.
Okay, so, I wonder what I seen. I seen a screenshot with like I don't know if you could like get different hair styles or something, but interesting. I don't know what that was then.
Not that I know of.
I was playing everybody's favorite video game franchise series. I was playing Alone in the Dark.
You can put hats on the rod.
Does the rod talk? Is it like Minish Cap?
No, they just go.
It makes noises. It's a sentient thing.
Yeah, they're like little black fuzzy dudes.
Ooh.
Yeah, cool. You can put little hats on them.
I dig it.
Yeah. No, new Alone in the Dark though, very good. I recommend.
Is it?
Yeah, it needs some optimization, but
Did it just come out?
Yeah, it literally came out the 20th actually.
Wow,
so
the big fanfare because I didn't even know.
Yeah, neither do I actually, and it's been on my wish list like since they announced it. But like, I didn't get a notification when it came out from my wish list or when it had an announced date. It was just like, oh, that dropped like 5 days ago.
There's just been so many games releasing lately. Like it's insane.
I will say, if you liked Resident Evil 2, you'll like Alone in the Dark, the new Alone in the Dark.
Does it feel more Resident Evil or does it feel more Evil Within?
It feels more Resident Evil. It honestly feels more like Resident Evil 4, where it's a lot... You don't really have an issue of not knowing where to go, per se, but it has an open mansion design like classic Resident Evil. But at no point during that game was I like, what do I do, for the most part? There was a few parts that were kind of like that. But I also, since I was streaming...
Not Resident Evil 0.
No, since I was streaming the whole thing too, though, they had two variations for puzzle difficulty, and it's like, modern, your character will sometimes give hints. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll use that one because I don't want to be streaming this and have everybody stuck. But I would like to go back through and try it on the harder difficulty and see like what.
Well, now you know how to do it.
Well, that's the thing though.
Change. It's like Silent Hill.
Yeah, I'm wondering if puzzle difficulty changes.
I'll do it hard when I already know how to beat.
Yeah, no, I am hoping they didn't get lazy with that, and it's just like they don't tell you as much shit for puzzle difficulty. But I would like it if they did like Resident Evil 2's harder modes, where it's like now the puzzle is fucking worse.
Or like,
I don't believe that's how that works.
is it differently? Is it just placed in different areas? Items?
I don't know yet. As I said, I haven't.
Well, I meant like Resident
Oh,
Evil.
Resident Evil 2 Remake? Resident Evil 2 Remake's harder puzzle modes give you less information. I do know that.
There's no puzzle difficulty.
No, when you play on a harder difficulty, the puzzles change. Like, straight up, they do.
They only change from A to B. Like first run, second run.
No. They change on harder difficulty, because when I first started out Resident Evil 2, the remake, I went ahead and started it on a harder difficulty, and the one puzzle that's literally in the main entryway of the RPD station, the one where you have to select the symbols to open up the door, instead of just one of them being like all gouged up and everything like that, where you couldn't read it, two of them were then gouged out as opposed. They do change the puzzle difficulty.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never noticed, because after my first playthrough, I'm like, okay, I already know the solution.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Resident Evil 2 Remake might have been a bad example, because while they do technically make the puzzles quote-unquote harder, it's not like they actually change them. It's just, now you have less information.
If you already played this, cool. If not, you're a dumbass.
Yeah, but...
Because I know the officer's notebook changes in the second run.
No, but...
like in the second scenario.
Yeah, but, like, legitimately, though, Alone in the Dark, the new one, it is, like, beat for beat, it feels like Resident Evil 2 Remake a lot, because you've got two different playable characters that do different things during the scenario and everything like that. You've got, multiple rooms and puzzles that actually change off based off who you're playing as, and, it's pretty good. The one thing that I think is kind of funny is because the original Alone in the Dark was always very eldritch horror, unknowable, you gotta kind of, like, pseudo-figure it out and just stop the great evil. Alone in the Dark, the new one, is very weird to me, because it's not this, like, unknowable evil the entire time. Like, it's effectively Shub-Niggurath. It's the goat in the woods with 1,000 young.
Gorath.
Yeah, she's a tree. Anyway.
Pluck out your eyes!
I was gonna say from Oblivion.
No,
Let's go.
but
I'll play this.
No, but
Absolutely.
But anyway, it's still an evil tree. But the weird thing that's kind of like bizarre about Alone in the Dark, the new one anyway, the old one was very much like Cthulhu-esque, H.P. Lovecraft, like type mentality and everything like that, to the point where there were various books you could pick up, and if you decided to read them, your character would just go insane and die. Okay. Now, note, the original one from 1992, if you know what you're doing, you can finish that game in like 30 minutes.
Wasn't there another Alone in the Dark? Like,
there's like
Xbox 360.
There's like 8 of them.
That one was not good.
That's the one I was thinking.
No.
I never played any of them. So.
I never got through that one.
There's the original 2. The first one is good, but as I said,
this is based off of that one.
Yeah,
like a remake.
This is based off the original. But once you know how to play the first one, you effectively you can finish that game in 30 minutes every time. It's one of those old games that it's like cryptic for the sake of being cryptic, and then basically you're good. Okay, like once you've figured out all the answers, you're done. Okay. Alone in the Dark 2 is broken in various areas and is kind of shit. Okay, but it's not bad. Then there was Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare on PS1, which I own a copy of that, and it's basically an RE1 clone that is cryptic as hell, annoying as shit, and all the characters are like the most douchebaggiest people from the 90s that you would never want to be stuck in a room with.
Oh no.
It's
Kevin
actually,
from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
I was actually thinking about playing it for a stream, and then I like booted it up and started playing through because it'd been so long since I've played it, and I was just like, oh god, I forgot how much I hate every one of these characters.
Well, is the new one actually like, is it fairly like scary, or?
It's got its moments, but I wouldn't say it's like...
Is it more intense than it is?
Okay, like for us, you know how it is that like there's not a lot of things at our age when it comes to like video games that we're actively just going to be like, oh god!
Yeah.
And
unless they force jump scares on you and shit.
What gets me is jump scares never really get me. It's just like, yeah, I sort of had a feeling that was going to happen, but what gets me is atmosphere, man.
Well, here's the thing.
Things that make me feel uneasy.
Like,
They nail atmosphere at the beginning very good with the whole like things changing and things just happening. Like entire spaces are being like ripped between reality and a dreamscape, which is cool, and it works really well at the start. And then once you're getting to the end of the game and they've done it like 9 billion times to you, you're just like, yeah, come on, let's go. Like, there's one part where you just randomly get transported into, like, the trenches of World War One, and it wasn't one of those cases where I was like, oh god, where am I? At that point of the game, I was just like, oh, why do I want to be in World War One? World War One fucking sucked.
How are you alone in the dark if you're in World War One?
There was nobody else there except for a giant beetle freaking clawy goat/wolf monster trying to hunt me down.
Jesus, that's a combination.
Yeah.
Ooh, a chimera.
Basically, but it is good. I will say though, if you're gonna play it on your consoles, because I get a kick out of it. I'm way above what that was.
Yeah, because like I said, games are made for consoles, and then
Well-
you get over to PC.
Well, the thing is though, it came out both on the same time, but that game, I am like,
that doesn't matter. I'm
yeah,
saying they build it off of console.
but
hardware.
like, I am way over the specs of what that game needs to be played on like Epic settings and everything like that. And I loaded it up. The game started on Epic settings, and I was like, all right, let's go. And then it's just like, oh god, and it's like trying to kill itself. I'm like, okay, I'll put everything to high. And then T, once I was finished and watching the credits and everything like that, he's like, hey, I just looked at the specs for this game. I'm like, yeah. He goes, your old rig could have ran this like really well. I'm like, yeah, I know. And he goes, yeah, they need to re-optimize that. I'm like, yeah.
That's most
I said,
PC.
I'm gonna kind of maybe blame it on the
Yeah.
fact that I'm streaming it while I'm doing it. I said, but I don't think that would be a major
Yeah.
issue for this, because that's just kind of weird. But no, I seriously, I do recommend it. It is good, but
I have to wait. Maybe this holiday or something when it's cheap. And I'm
no,
looking
you
for a
know,
game.
even then, it's only a $60 game. It's
Well,
actually
no shit.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
I like how
they
now
haven't
it's
gone full
when it's
70 yet.
only $60,
Yeah,
it's
now-
now a discount.
Yeah, now it's like but
Persona 3 Reload 70.
Yeah, but like I know I'm not gonna play it right away, so I'll wait
yeah.
until eventually. Like I still want to play the Dead Space remake,
Oh yeah,
but I need to be in the spoopy mood, and I haven't been in spoopy
Yeah.
mood.
weirdly enough,
Wait
when the
until October.
Dead Space remake,
Sometimes I'll just get in a mood. I'm like, I'm in horror right now, so that's when I'm going to wait for it.
Yeah,
Instead
fair
of
enough.
forcing it into myself.
yeah, weirdly enough, when the Dead Space remake came out, I was like all for like, yeah, I want to play that, and then they're like, oh, what about the Callisto Protocol? I'm like, that looks like shit.
Yeah, a lot of hype and
Yeah, but like when the Dead
Yeah.
Space remake came out, I was like,
a lot of potential.
I really like the way this looks. I really like
I
this.
hear nothing but good things.
I literally heard one negative thing about the Dead Space remake. One. Okay.
The bathrooms.
No.
What's the bathrooms?
I think they made it's either they made it an all gender bathroom or they made like a trans bathroom and people lost their shit over.
Oh.
Well, they are in space in the future, so who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, the one thing that was okay, if you already know
There's
the
bathrooms for xenomorphs.
yeah, if you already know the
If I'm
Dead
gonna fuck it, it can go in my bathroom.
if you already know the
Where
story
else are we gonna fuck?
Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
If you already know the original story for Dead Space, spoiler if not, at towards the end of the game,
Don't spoil it for me.
you're not gonna get a major spoiler out of this.
You just said spoiler.
Oh, wait, you never played the original Dead Space?
No, I never played them. I
Oh.
never had access to them.
Really? Oh, okay.
I mean, I can on Xbox now, but now that there's a remake, I might as well play that one.
Okay,
I thought
then,
they were on 360.
then I will be as vague as possible.
I just never played them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like during that time, it was all Halo, Gears of War, and online and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
I
Oblivion and Skyrim.
yeah, I will be as vague as possible.
Anyway,
There's a part during the original Dead Space where somebody that has dicked you over really hard is about to
yeah,
die.
the Xenomorph.
Is about to
He
die.
dicked me hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
In the restroom.
I'm gonna in the trans Xeno restroom.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, that person is about to die horribly. And originally, during the original Dead Space, Isaac just watches as that individual just straight up gets fucking owned. Okay, but for some reason in the remake of Dead Space, they tried to make Isaac more as a kind of everyman, approachable character. And for some reason, this character that screwed you over. Oh yeah, he's not a silent protagonist in the remake.
No, I was gonna say I thought they fleshed him out, his wife out.
Yeah,
and a
that
lot
was
more of the shit.
his
So, like,
girlfriend.
they-
But yeah.
They pull an other M thing.
No. But there's this part originally where Isaac just watches this person that has dicked you over majorly basically get straight up murdered, and he picks up his freaking rivet gun and he's just like, all right, let's go, you giant alien son of a bitch, basically. He doesn't say that.
You giant alien son of a bitch, basically.
Yeah, no, but
Basically what you are. I mean,
no, but anyway, he does.
look at you.
But originally though,
I regret fucking you, Xenomorph.
they tried to overly humanize him. So now that part where this person that you as a player honestly at this point just want dead because that person was an asshole. Isaac is like, no, take my hand, and then they get ripped off and murdered. And then
so they pulled a Zuko and Zhao.
Yeah, they just they just pulled like one of those like really like stupid moments. It's like, why the fuck would I give a shit? That is the person that is the reason for me getting dicked over so hard.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, somebody has literally gone out of their way to try to get you killed so damn much, and at the end, Isaac's like, I'm a good guy, I'll save you.
I mean, I can't really say. When I play it, remind me, and I'll tell you my opinions on it.
Yeah, okay.
But I also never played the original, so I can't really compare, but...
The original Dead Space, I highly recommend. Dead Space 2 also. Dead Space 3 can rot in a fire.
That's what I heard. It goes, like, downhill slowly, and it's because of EA.
Yeah, EA got this stupid
They're like, oh, this one's successful, and you know how EA goes with it.
Basically, what happened is Resident Evil 5 was so successful, and EA was like, why don't we have that?
We need more money, less time, let's go.
Yeah.
Just like Dragon Age.
Yeah.
We've been waiting how many goddamn years for another Dragon Age?
EA shouldn't own anything but sports games.
If we do
Don't touch my shit.
Yeah, if we
Don't
do this...
touch me!
If we do this in the realm of, like, other classic great horror games...
Give me 1313, EA.
Yeah, if we do this in the, like, grounds of, like, comparing it to other horror games, though, literally you could probably, like, put the original Dead Space 1 kind of atmosphere-wise, like, almost next to Silent Hill 4, The Room a little bit. Like, it's not perfect, but it still has that good atmosphere. It still has that, like, creepy vibe and everything like that. It's not perfect, but it's decent. It's a little decisive on, like, whether or not people like it or not, but it's there.
You know what the atmosphere in Dead Space is like?
What?
Martian Gothic on steroids.
Hey, okay, fair enough.
I forgot about that.
I could nick off the
who owns that? I want a remake.
You want a remake of Martian
Gothic? Why, we deserve better.
It could be cool.
It could.
But then again, people don't like Resident Evil 0 for the freaking zapping back and forth between two people, and then that game in Martian Gothic, you're zapping between three.
And then Dead Space 2 though is literally like you would put that in the same classification, like feel-wise, to Resident Evil 4. Like, it's still got all its horror vibes there, but at this point, it's kind of an action game.
They try to do the action stuff.
Yeah, like, it still has its dark, tense moments, but it's more an action game. And then you fucking put Dead Space 3, basically, with RE6. It, like, basically, it's the shell of what it's supposed to be, and now it's...
It's funny how trilogies work, because, like, Dead Space and Resident Evil, it's like, it goes, like, good to bad, and then you have trilogies like, or like Metroid's like good to bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're good, they're all right, but they get...
Other M happened.
Well, I was thinking Prime, 3 Primes.
Oh, right.
But then you have like Halo where they get good.
Yeah, well, back when Bungie ran it,
until it went 4 to 6.
Yeah, back when Bungie wanted to do a trilogy because they were coming off a marathon and they were like, let's do a 3D trilogy because they.
You see they do a marathon again?
I know, I want that. I love
That's
marathon.
Pretty cool.
I hope they still go with the, okay, spoilers for Marathon. If anyone gives a shit about a game from 93.
No one even knows what Marathon is.
Okay, here's the thing.
I don't.
The whole basis of Marathon, okay, is after the first 2 games, when the third Marathon kicks in, okay, there is this constant inside of Bungie's original arc of storytelling where, like, a hero is always a persistent thing that exists as a constant in the universe, and it has died a million times, and it's rebirthed a million times, and everything like that. Marathon literally takes place basically at the end of the universe when the working Kakantur is about to basically consume the galaxy, okay? Your main character in Marathon 3 has literally ascended to the point where he is jumping realities, resetting, and like the thing that's so cool about Marathon's setting though is once you get to Marathon 3, it is literally one of those cases where
your profanity. sorry, I had to. Every time I hear reality, I have to go.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, that's profanity. Watch your profanity.
Alright, anyway. No, but it's really neat because you'll be like jumping through realities. So at one point you're working for basically this rampant AI that wants to see humanity actually succeed, but it knows that everything is coming to an end and is trying to understand it. And then you'll jump realities again, and next thing you know, you're working for the Spit, and you're literally... The Smit. Sorry, not the Spit.
What do we call this?
Anyway,
I don't know. Hey, the spit.
Anyway, you're working for the
Spit
Smith,
roast.
and you're working. I can't remember the.
Spit roast that xenomorph.
Oh no. Anyway, I can't remember the two AIs that are technically fighting at the end of the world's names right now. But basically,
Which one reminds you of Maria the most?
in the third marathon game, you're basically jumping through
Oh,
realities.
baby, no. Sorry.
So, with Alone in the Dark, do you think there are continuous sequels?
I don't know. Like, they did
Like-
such a horrible job at launching this one. I'm kind of curious how it's doing
Like if
sales-wise.
they do like Together in the Light or something like that.
Yeah.
Why?
Together in the Light. It's a romantic comedy game.
It's a dating sim with the xenomorphs.
There's no xenomorphs in
There will be. Every game deserves xenomorphs.
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
they're eldritch horrors, so.
I mean, yeah,
xenomorphs
technically
are pretty damn close.
Technically, space is a thing that plays into Alone in the Dark. But,
Spice.
yeah. No, I honestly would like to see more Alone in the Darks, especially if they're going to go through, like, the series, but technically the original story stops after 2 games, and then it's just
Yeah,
a
you
bunch
could
of
do the other one.
weird remakes. But, in all honesty...
Who is the sorry, the original company that owned Alone in the Dark? Did they? Is it the same
No,
company or did somebody
Armadillo,
else buy it?
Armadillo's been long dead. THQ Nordic's doing this one.
Really?
Yep.
I'm glad to see they're still doing something.
Yeah, Nordic's been doing some good shit, though.
I want to see THQ back in the prime.
I mean, it's
drank some Prime.
it's basically Nordic Entertainment wearing THQ's skin like a suit, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But
Didn't they just get hit with layoffs a while back too?
I can't remember if THQ was one of those or not.
so I'm saying I want to see freaking what was that game I just talked about? The
Oh, Martin.
Oh,
no, Darksiders, but you said that was a trilogy always.
Oh, Darksiders was technically a trilogy, and then there was that one spin-off game where you played as Death, I believe, with the twin stick shooter.
No, Death was the second one.
Death was the...
Yeah,
wait, no.
There was War, Death, and then the third one was the twin stick.
Yeah, who was that? That was...
Well,
Well, you also have
Pestilence,
Fury.
I don't know.
Fury was the Darksiders 3.
Oh, that's right. There was.
Yeah, there's
3.
technically 4 of them. There was one for each of
Yeah,
the
you're right,
horsemen,
you're
but I
right,
think
you're right.
Pestilence got, like, shafted or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
forgot about 3. Big sad.
Yeah, I think Pestilence got shafted with a twin stick.
You're a shooter. Could have made a first-person shooter, but at least they went somewhere.
I mean, yeah.
Or even a third-person shooter, and he could have met up with Dom and Marcus.
Yeah, that's what we need, a third-person cover shooter for...
Pestilence, get your ass over here! I ain't gonna tell you. Get out of Dom's tomatoes.
The embodiment of death is outside and he's fucking up our corn.
Those are Dom's seeds.
I told you they weren't here to sell cookies.
Oh yeah, didn't you want to say something about like what's going on with Microsoft lately?
Oh no. Well, you know how like a few years ago, I think it was like the Xbox One era, where they were like in talks of bringing Steam over to Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
But apparently that's been brought up again.
Oh, really?
So I don't know, like, I think that would be smart, because, like, it would kind of give Steam the console that they've always wanted and they never could have, like, a front.
Yeah, like
and then it gives Xbox the handheld that they've always kind of wanted if they
Yeah.
put, like, Game Pass on it,
Yeah.
eventually. And just kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
the one thing I would worry about though, primarily, is there's always been a bit of that like there's always been a bit of that stigma about having unrated games on consoles though, and I really wonder what that would do to Steam's ecosystem with like things that are even available on Xbox.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, I assume it'd be, like, app? Kind of like...
Yeah.
I'm
Like-
like gonna play my porn games on my Xbox.
Well, that's because, like, I'd assume you'd have to have an app and then its own, like, agreement in terms, kind of like Hulu or Netflix or anything.
Either that or they'll only let ESRB rated games on the Xbox.
It could be a dumbed down version. But,
Yeah.
But then at that point, is it really? I mean, most.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
It's just a talks.
I mean, as far as it goes for like unrated games that have been released on consoles, we've seen that now in this generation with indie titles that just haven't gotten an ESRB rating and just got
Well,
released.
here's my thought: is if they did put Steam on Xbox and there's PlayStation games on Steam,
Oh yeah.
how does that work? Like with licensing?
I mean, I think
right.
I think Sony would throw a shit fit about that. To be honest with you, I think it'd be one of those cases
Yeah, I
where
don't
it's
know
like these are the
legal
games.
ramifications for that.
Yeah,
so.
I think it would be one of those cases like it would literally be a dumbed down app primarily. It'd be like these are the games that are available from Steam.
That you can basically already play on your Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know how that seems like an odd one to me because I can't imagine Sony would let like their beloved Spider-Man touch an Xbox.
No, unless they put.
Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West on an Xbox? No way!
Wait, didn't one of the Horizon games already come out on Xbox?
That's a Sony
No, sir.
thing.
Or oh no, that was when they were Sony fanboys were throwing a fit when it came out on PC. That's what it was. I remember that now.
I don't know, but I mean, even if they don't put Steam on Xbox, I think putting Game Pass on a Steam Deck, like officially, instead of having to do a workaround.
Oh yeah, I think that
would be smart.
Yeah, that would work out pretty well.
But it's just more rumors that popped up recently again, and I mean, Xbox said this is going to be another giant leap in next gen for them. So
see, the one thing I do worry about
basically
though,
a PC at this point.
the one thing I do worry a little bit about though is Steam is a Valve is a privately traded company. Okay, you cannot buy stock in Valve unless you like. I think you get stock if you work for Valve.
I can buy stock at Martin's.
Good for you.
Hey.
But anyway, but the thing is,
Backstock.
I worry with Steam if Valve is going to integrate more with Microsoft, like under that contract, how much is Valve going to like change as far as it goes being with a company that is a publicly traded here to make money primarily. This is what we do.
I don't know.
Because Valve, yes, they want to make money and everything like that.
Businessman.
But Valve also is one of those cases where they're not beholden to shareholders. They are literally like the last pillar standing that is just like, yeah, no, we're not selling to some, we're not selling to King Games or what's the other Chinese mega game corporation?
That's because they'll force them to make, I don't know, the sequels.
Yeah. But no, it is one of those cases where I honestly... Like, I know Gabe does not want to... I know Lord Gaben does not wish to... Lord Gaben. I know he does...
Gaben in my cabin.
I know Gabe...
What are you doing here?
I know Gabe Newell does not want to bring the company into any sort of publicly traded or anything like that because that is simply the way they operate and they like being able to operate the way they do. But with a lot of this, like, coming in and idealizing of, like, everything merging, I kind of worry like what happens when you kind of break down that last pillar of a company that's just like, fuck you, we make games and we do this, to more along the lines of less of that and more along the lines of we make money, yeah, like you can say Steam's greedy as shit for like what they do, and I'm going to tell you that primarily you're wrong because to run those servers and actually have all that shit available in general.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal.
That is an insane amount of infrastructure that has to be constantly upkept.
No, it's easy.
No, yeah. No. But like...
I could run an Arc server on my Xbox.
Yeah. Well, let's just put it this way. The only reason the Epic Game Store was charging so little for what they were having developers release on their service platform was primarily because we own Fortnite.
Yeah,
that was basically what it was. It was the money printing machine that was basically funding.
They could do anything else.
Yeah, that was basically funding that at that point. But damn, I honestly, I still just, it's old man screaming at clouds still at this point. Is like, it's gonna kill us all. But I'm still just like,
what's the cloud doing to anybody?
He hates this.
Yeah, he hates this.
I still haven't beaten or even touched that game since it came out.
Oh, you know how I stream a lot of FF14? I get a kick out of it. The FF16 event apparently is starting here like either today or tomorrow. I can't remember.
Joshua.
And I got a kick out of it because literally Bree brought it up to me and I just said to her, I'm like, cool, what's gonna be... What? I haven't played FF16 because it's only on PlayStation and I don't care. And she's like, yeah, I have no idea what the hell's going to be in it either, but we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I seen some announcement, but I didn't look into what it does because I don't play it. So.
No, yeah, like when I saw the demo trailer and everything like that, I was like, oh wow, this looks really cool. This is classic Square Enix going like psychotically above and beyond for visuals and everything like that. It looks really good. I mean,
no, I meant for
yeah, I know
the event in 14.
Oh no, but I meant for like the 16 demo.
Oh no, I played 16.
Oh, you played 16?
Not all of it. I played a little bit of it, but it was really fun.
I played the demo.
Yeah, see, when I looked at the demo, I was like, wow, and then they were like, it's only on PS5, and I'm like, I don't touch that console, so fuck it.
I'll probably buy it again when it's cheap, but...
I mean, I want to support Square because I do still like what they do a lot of the time, but it's also one of those cases of like, why the fuck do you keep giving exclusivity deals to PlayStation at this point?
They probably signed a contract years ago, and they're stuck in it.
Well, like, even when Capcom signed the contract with Nintendo to release all the fucking Resident Evil stuff on the GameCube, they still turned around and were like, and then they just...
I mean, they released their games. They were just terrible.
I think they signed up for like a 3-game deal, so the GameCube 5?
Yeah, it was 5, and they only released 3.
I mean, the 3 games I'm thinking of
it was
are
Killer
0.
7, Beautiful Joe.
No, I was thinking Resident Evil.
There was another weird third-person shooter that came out first before a while.
What was that one?
I can't remember.
I can't.
I've watched this a couple times. I can't remember if the 5th one ever happened.
It's not Killer 7?
No.
Yeah, but Capcom at the time literally claimed that it was actively hurting their company to maintain that contract, so they basically had a bailout deal. You can't tell me that that Square wouldn't have basically put the same thing into, that sort of contract negotiation with that sort of thing.
Like I said, the new remake is only exclusive to PlayStation 5 till like May or something. Then it'll probably come to PC because it says that even in the PlayStation trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these folks are doing like timed exclusives.
I mean, whatever, but I mean, whatever deal they're making with Sony, I think Square has learned their lesson because they're definitely not selling as well as they used to be.
Yeah, I honestly think that Sony needs to get off their fucking high horse, get back in the ball pit, and start basically trying to slug, because...
Oh, I like ball pits.
The third-person shooter I was thinking of on GameCube was Piano 3.
Okay.
Piano
3. PN03.
Piano 3. Okay, I got you.
Piano?
It was a third-person shooter, then there was Beautiful Joe, then there was Resident Evil, and there was Killer 7. And then...
Did they actually do all 5? I didn't think they did.
Let's see, when I originally said 3, I was thinking Resident Evil titles.
Oh, no. Because there was the Capcom 5.
Yeah.
I don't think the 5th one happened.
That was what it was. The 5th one didn't happen.
I don't think the first Resident Evil was part of that.
No, the original
Resident 3, Beautiful Joe. Oh, Dead Phoenix, which never happened.
Yeah, okay.
It was a shoot 'em up. Resident Evil 4 and Killer 7.
Yep, okay.
Because that was their big announcement.
Yeah. Yeah, I just... Like, seriously, I gotta...
Which is really funny, because if you play Resident Evil 3, there's a place you can go, and there's a little poster there that says Biohazard 4.
In the original?
In the original, yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then that deal happened. It's kind of like, okay, I'm playing this game on my PlayStation.
It's on everything.
It's on everything.
It's like Skyrim and boom.
Oh. Did you see, Apple's getting the shit suit out of them.
For what?
Huh? For their walled garden. They started actually going after customers who were sideloading apps onto their phones. Okay, stating that they weren't allowed to do that and they weren't allowed to do this. Well,
I mean, legally on their agreement they can't.
But here's the thing, though, like, it's an anti-consumer and anti-competitive practice. So literally, FTC, no, not FTC. Screw it. Basically, they got accused of having a monopoly, and it is such a broad shotgun cover of things that essentially Apple's going to get slapped to hell and back. And honestly, I love it, because here's the thing.
I think they need it too.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like,
as much as I have Apple stuff.
As much as I disdain for Apple right now, it is primarily the way that company operates. Apple, I will not lie, makes great hardware. It's just not compatible with jack shit unless you buy 80 other fucking Apple products.
Yeah, it's like headphones.
You can't.
I like how they made wireless headphones, and then they're like, "Oh, we can sell you attachments to make your headphones wired, so they don't, you don't lose them on your, in your ear."
Well, the other thing is, do you know that technically, if you have
them solving problems, they make their own problems to resell you the solution. That's their whole thing.
Well, like the other thing is too, if you have a pair of Apple AirPods, without an Apple phone, you'd actually technically can't update them unless you have either an Apple laptop, an Apple phone, or what you'd have to technically do is go to an Apple Center and actually ask to have a...
Right, but you're not going to buy AirPods unless you're owning the Apple ecosystem anyway.
I know people who actually own Apple AirPods and don't own anything else Apple.
You could just get Raycons or literally anything else at that point. You're just paying for the Apple brand.
That is my argument too, but like, I've tried Apple earbuds. I think they suck. But I also wear cans on my head that cost double the cost of an Apple AirPod, so
ouch.
Take that for what it's worth.
But get me some Raycons.
But it's still one of those cases where it's just like, why the fuck would you screw over your user base that has already given you money just to simply tell them like, no, fuck you. You can't update that item that you bought from us unless you buy more items from us. It's a software patch. Fuck them.
Well, look at Sony's.
I mean, yeah, but here's the thing, though.
Usually you're buying the product that you already own for.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
Good old Sony.
I have to agree with Apple on that. I think like that's stupid. Like you're usually gonna buy side products to go with the product main product you already own.
But like, you have an Apple phone, but you don't have an Apple laptop. Do you have any idea how many things are just not available to you on your Apple phone because you don't have an iMac?
But I do everything I need.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but, if you wanted to, say, like, load up, like, Bandcamp music stuff, or you wanted to do anything else with it involving, like, anything that's, like, on-the-fly, like, production-type stuff, you're fucked without an iPad, without an iMac.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, okay, sorry for boomers and people that don't understand that. But usually you agree to an ecosystem before you head into it.
But here's the thing, though. I honestly think...
A phone is a phone.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I honestly think that if Apple does get a decent slap on the wrist, like, you know as well as I do, this is not going to kill Apple. Apple's not going to die from this lawsuit.
No.
But here's the thing. I think a decent enough slap on the wrist at Apple to basically, shut the fuck up and actually start competing again, as opposed to just being like, oh, we're a premium brand.
We updated our thing. It has a new megapixel.
Yeah, well,
boy.
But I think if they get slapped hard enough that they're actually like, oh, fuck, that means people can use, like, the Play Store and can sideload apps on our shit, and if it doesn't work that well, or people can't do the things that they, like, can do with their regular Android or their PC on our gear without buying more shit, fuck, we're going to have to do some price calculations to be more competitive. Our stocks are going to go up, actually, after all this is, because more people are going to be buying Apple products because it's going to be more user-friendly and less, fuck you, we're Apple. I mean,
they already have to go to the C chargers. Legally.
Yeah, like, I see no downside with Apple getting the shit suit out of them because, well, like, literally, when this was announced, I fucking bought more Apple stock. I was like, fuck yeah, your stock is dropping like a motherfucker right now, but guess what? Here in about 2 years, yeah.
Right back up there.
It's the same thing that happened with Microsoft when they got the shit suit out of them back in the 90s for basically trying to run a monopoly, and they had to split up and do all that crap, and it was like, oh, poor Microsoft, they'll never recover. Now look at the company that has, like, more money than anything. Yeah.
Let's buy Activision Blizzard King and then lay off a good percentage of their staff. Hey, we're trying to make money here. Then why'd you spend fucking billions upon billions of dollars to acquire this freaking
They wanted the mobile market.
I mean, I'm
not going to have 5 positions in the same people. I'm going to condense it.
Yeah.
That's just business.
Well, not only that,
you can piss all you want, but that's just...
In all fairness...
Everybody does it.
The abruptness of how that happened, too,
ridiculous.
I still, basically, as much as I normally don't believe a corporation when they say something in the lines of, that wasn't our plan, that was already in the works before we acquired them, the way that all timed and matched up, I'm actually inclined more to believe Microsoft that it was just basically King and Blizzard basically fucking over their own people first.
I mean, I don't put it past them.
Yeah.
Freaking Activision.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was one of those cases that...
I know there was a lot of people inside those companies when they got bought out. They're like, this is a good thing.
Yeah. Because...
Hopefully they still have their jobs, but probably not.
Yeah. Well, like, in all fairness, right now, with the indie scene exploding the way it is and the AAA market hurting the way it is, I am more interested to see where things are going.
Screw you.
I need this.
Okay.
Oh, this isn't the one.
No, you just picked up a random screwdriver from my desk.
It's a Phillips.
It is a Phillips.
It's not the one I usually play with. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
But the cold stick.
I actually got some time, and I got to look at the Apple
Garth
Vision
joke.
Pro, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say? Sorry.
I actually got some time, and I got to look at the Apple Vision Pro, by the way.
I looked at it too on YouTube.
No, I mean, I actually know a mad lad that fucking bought the damn thing, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Did you punch him?
I did.
While he was wearing them?
I punched him straight in his stupid face while he was wearing them, right in his CG eyeballs.
Who is it?
It's actually pretty neat. I mean, the pastor was cool.
Who?
Huh? Oh, it was Alan.
Okay.
No.
If you say T, I'm gonna punch you.
Oh, yeah. If I say T, you're gonna punch T.
I don't think he would buy something an Apple product, but
The pastor was neat and everything like that. It's a cool thing, but it is one of those things at the end of the day. It's just like, okay.
that's what I said. It's just it's the groundworks for future tech.
Yeah,
There always has to be a start.
I even looked at Alan. I was like, why the hell?
I mean, like, look how VR used to be.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
fucking back when we start, like, even 10 years ago, like 7-8 years ago. Now look at it, like, it's huge.
I even looked at Alan. I was like, why did you buy this? And he's like, oh, what if I want to travel somewhere? I'm like, what the fuck are you going to be doing while you're traveling? And he's like, oh, I'm like, you don't even own an iMac or anything like that. What the fuck are you doing with
Did you
this?
see the dude that was working in a restaurant and he had the Vision on? He was like playing with dishes in the VR, but then he accidentally broke a real one because he
no.
forgot.
I did not see that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna lie, the Vision Pro was not like walled off in Apple's ecosystem, and they actually gave it to PC. That would be
That's
an
what I'm
amazing.
saying.
Like, I would have literally no complaints about that. I would have complaints about one thing. Fucking, for some reason, Apple swears up and down that NAND flash is worth its weight in gold. And I have no idea why. They're like, oh, you want a terabyte in that thing? That's going to be an extra $700. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Look when the iPod, or not the iPod, the iPhone came out, and how revolutionary that was, and how it changed the industry. This is going to be the same thing, and then every other company is going to have their own versions.
Well,
and like, that's what I'm saying. Give it, 7, 8, 10 years. It's going to be pretty cool.
yeah, like, here's the thing though, like,
Bunch of people walking around doing this.
back when Apple released...
It's going to be a little...
It's gonna be like the Cyborg v Cyborg fight from Injustice 2.
I would say the tech idea is going to be cool. What it's going to do to people is going to be pretty sad.
Yeah. Well, like,
Yeah.
here's the thing though.
Kids got to grow up in that kind of future.
Oh,
But back
no.
when the
They're
iPhone...
already bad enough with the
Right,
freaking
the
tablets.
But here's the thing. Back when Jobs was still alive, I mean, the man was a psychopath. Like, seriously, the man died from an easily curable version of cancer and decided that instead of getting treatment, he was going to eat kale. He was a psychopath. He was a cool psychopath, but he was still a psychopath.
Say, what have you done with your kale?
With my kale, I haven't cured cancer. I can tell you that. Okay, now that everybody who likes Apple hates me. Anyway.
Didn't give it to the Xenomorph.
But back when Steve...
He fucked a few Xenomorphs.
But back when Steve Jobs was still, like, at the helm of Apple, Apple did a lot of really...
You know what SpaceX is about. Anyway, that's why it's X.
That's why he wants to go to Mars. He knows where all the good
I know where the Xenopussy is.
The Xenosuit.
Anyway, Jobs knew how to run a company well. He knew how to actually listen to his, his user base. He knew how to actually be the guy for that sort of stuff. I'll admit, a lot of stuff in his past and how he screwed over Wozniak and stuff like that wasn't good. But he did...
That's why he's a YouTuber now.
Scott the Wozniak.
Anyway, he did listen to his user base, and they did make amazing advancements forward because of it, because they were a very good tech company. Anymore, though, the way Apple treats its user base is kind of the same way Nintendo treats its user base anymore, which is why it's one of those cases where it's like, I can appreciate what they do, and I can love what they do, but God, the company pisses me off to the point where anytime they do...
Nintendo doesn't come out with a console and charge me $1,500 for it.
No, they'll just go ahead and release something, then go after anybody who tries to do anything with it, and then basically give you the middle finger every other day.
Well, legally, the company that they're suing currently was sending out codes, which they cannot do because they're reselling product.
Yeah, but
you can't. you're allowed to legally emulate.
Yeah, but I will also state.
Why did they go after Yuzu?
That's what I'm saying.
Yuzu was doing other shit.
Yuzu was selling like product keys and shit like that.
And it honestly, I got a kick that everybody.
You can't go after people for emulating and like dumping and downloading ROMs is legal.
Yeah.
See, but I thought they just went after them because
Well,
Switch emulator.
Here's the thing though. That is part of the reason because Nintendo hates the idea of you emulating anything they have ever.
Well, then put all the shit on the freaking 3DS and DSe shops on the damn Switch already.
That'd be hard with touchscreen.
Well, that's Nintendo's fault.
I mean, you're right.
Why would you take that down if you're just gonna throw a fit when someone starts emulating your stuff?
No, but just think of how many times Nintendo has just basically been a dick when it comes to like various properties and stuff like that. When you're just like, we would all love this, and Nintendo's like, no.
Remember when they wouldn't let you stream their own on YouTube? It's like, I'm gonna fucking promote your game for free. Get that Mario game out of there.
Yeah, I'm gonna promote your game for free.
Game.
You had to be an ambassador.
You have to be an ambassador, and you had to pay them 20% of your ad revenue on top of the revenue percentage that YouTube took. And it's just like, what the fuck?
We're not doing Nintendo games anymore because we make zero money on it.
That was scary times.
Oh my god. Yeah, Nintendo's one of those companies.
They changed.
Yeah. Nintendo's one of those companies that, like, I appreciate what they do. They make quality games. They actually, they care. They actually make things that are good. Their games are good.
Because of that reputation that they're so far up their own asses.
Exactly. And that is where the problem lies. And Apple is the same way. Apple's like, look, we have the iPhone. Give me $1,500. The new one has an extra button. Or the new one has an extra camera.
Sorry. If you're the
idiot, 30 minutes of battery life.
If you're the idiot that buys one every year, you're a dumbass. I mean, if you can afford it and you got a great job, sure, whatever, it's your money. I'm the guy that gets that, like, after I'm allowed an upgrade every 3 or 4 years, I'll get the new one, because by then, at least it's a couple years upgrade.
Yeah, but, like, well, that was the thing, I think it was, like, 6 years ago, Apple was trying to make, they had that whole planned obsolescence thing that was, like, a really big thing at the time, and Apple was trying to get their stuff down to the point where your iPhone, literally, after the next one released, would start to bloat to the point where it would literally, like, only be usable for about 8 months after the new one released. They were trying to do that, and I think it was...
I don't think that you're legally allowed to do that.
No, it was actually... I believe it was Europe's legal system that actually went after them for that, and was like, no. And Apple was like, argh.
I mean, I know technology eventually is outdated, and, like, iOS versions won't support it, but yeah, you can't do it, like...
I mean, yeah, my last time I owned an iPhone, it was an iPhone 4. I think it's sitting over here somewhere, but still, it's like one of those cases, like, I've never had one since, because... I'm not...
Literally, like, 13, 14, 15 are, like, the same, minus...
Yeah, and...
a couple specs and battery life and just shit like that.
A couple extra camera uses on it.
And usually, because, again, I own an iPhone, and I'm stuck in the ecosystem, so I just keep going. But, like, a lot of their updates are already shit, like you said, Android's had for, like, 2 years. It's like, we can do this now. It's like, cool.
Yeah, it's like, great for you. Anyway. Like, I got a kick out of it. I didn't know this was a thing until I was, like, reading, like, a rant report or something like that. I think it was... Actually, no, it wasn't reading a rant report. I read a rant report, but then I was listening to the G.W.A.P podcast, and they were sitting there talking about, oh, yeah, you still can't move your hotbar icons and swap them around on an iPhone. And I'm like, seriously?
Your hotbar icons?
Like, your ones across the bottom.
That's a new update.
Oh, seriously?
It just can't... Yeah, so shut the fuck up. It just happened. I can now adjust all that shit. So get the fuck out of here. We do have it.
How long?
That's a big update.
Take?
We just I can't remember if it came out or it's coming out, but we're getting it or we have it.
So they might not even have it yet.
Well, I don't think I've updated my phone recently, and it hasn't bothered me, so it's probably coming.
I just love how...
Because it comes out in the middle of, like, the year, like, the biggest update.
Yeah.
And then that way, when the new iPhone drops in September every year, it's
already
part of it, so it's the big, like, this is why you need to upgrade. That's exactly what they do.
I love that. Fuck you, I can move my
I can move my widgets. I mean... you can already move them around, but yeah, there was like some update where like, oh, instead of this always being like, instead of your apps always being at the top, I can like adjust it down and put this up here instead.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, can you move them individually?
They're like,
you can
it's a
swap
grid,
their
so,
places, but you can't like.
So like I can edit my home screen, and there's a grid. I can't put them like randomly here, but I can like. Actually, I don't even think it lets me. No, it has to go in order.
Wow,
Yeah, it has to go in order. You can't. Yeah.
Hey, check this shit out.
Yeah, check this shit.
Oh my god! I think that's the update we got. Look, it took us like 7 years, but we can finally do it.
God, that was like so basic.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, Apple, what are you doing?
I'll defend Apple on like, yeah, no shit. You should, if you're gonna own Apple earbuds, you should own Apple shit. But I won't defend Apple on all their other gay shit.
See, that's the other thing, though. I think, honestly, if Apple's forced to play nice and actually play competitively with, like, the Android and the PC market, though, as opposed to being like, oh, no, we're Apple. We don't have to compete with you. We're a luxury brand. That's going to be the thing, because then it'll be the minor annoyances that they just ignored you guys on will literally be the fact of, like, oh, fuck, since people can download our shit now on other platforms, we should probably make sure that our platforms are better that people actually want to, and
yeah, it'll be a good competition.
Yeah.
And honestly, that'll also benefit the other side too, because now they're gonna fucking sit there and compete more.
Yeah, you want a hungry
want
company. You want competition, because the second you have just nothing but a big ass mound, it's
you get
just
no
like
innovation.
Exactly, it's just fucking useless.
Absolutely, competition's always good.
But you know, Nintendo innovates. Remember the Wii?
Hey,
remember the
biggest sellers.
Remember the two GameCube strapped together where Grandpa played bowling?
Not even 2. It was like 1.1.
Yeah, it was slightly upgraded because the GameCube was supposed to have motion controls. It literally was basically an update.
I swear to God, I know we're coming up on mid-year and Nintendo's allegedly going to announce their Switch 2 or Switch successor. I swear to God, if Nintendo is going to continue to be where it's at, I can see this turning into another Wii U event.
No,
if they don't release something that is at least like on par, maybe a step below the Steam Deck, I don't see them doing this well in the next rotation.
See, they're either gonna keep the Switch name like they did with the Game Boy Advance, like the 3D and stuff, but advertise it as the next upgrade, unlike they did with the Wii and the Wii U, because people thought it was just a peripheral, or they'll be scared of the Wii U thing and they'll call it something else. But I think the smartest thing is call it like the Switch, whatever,
like,
and make sure you advertise it as such, so that way they know, like, oh,
especially with the way that
I'll just go the Sony route and
Switch 2, Switch 3, Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
to be
have
honest,
a really damn good model going.
But
when the Switch came out, it's like, holy shit, it's a console and a handheld.
I want to go back to the cool names.
Yeah, well, to be honest, here's the thing that I think, though.
The Nintendo
because
Switcheroo.
Switch 64.
Nintendo is just now starting to... Yeah, Nintendo is just now starting to see stock drops off of the Switch, okay? Which is probably why they're, like, the big thing is, like, oh, we're getting ready to... The next generation, it's coming and everything like that. But the other thing I worry about is this is the only generation where Nintendo's come into the ball field and nobody's immediately been like, I challenge you. It's literally been like, oh, we're buddy-buddy with Microsoft right now, and we're, and we're doing our own thing. I like that, but that is really hardcore Apple mentality, and that's why I worry about the next generation of Nintendo console, primarily.
Well, we have the Steam Deck, and we have a bunch of those emulating decks, which isn't the same. But, I mean, Sony tried to sort of do that, but they did it terribly. Instead of having it...
Yeah, as they always do.
They should have had it like the PSP Go, where you can download the games and play it natively if possible, but...
See, the thing is, it's not that I think that the PlayStation Portable thing that they brought out, whatever the fuck the new one's called,
It's like
trash. Whatever
the PlayStation Portal?
Yeah,
Portal. Okay.
Not to get confused.
Okay.
It's still PSP.
I don't think the Portal is a bad piece of tech. The problem is, I look at that and I'm like, who the fuck is this for?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if it would have came out and it was like, you can stream from your PS5, or you can download games and play it without having to fucking be tethered to it, it would have been cooler.
Yeah, well, like, the hardware that would have gone into that would have made
How many people that were like, oh, I kind of wanted a PS5, but I don't want to, I can't afford it, or I already have a console, I don't need another one, so I'll just buy the PSP, and fucking just play it that way. I know I'm gonna get like less resolution and shit. It won't be 4K, but at least I can still play Spider-Man 2.
See, I think that
Like,
would have primarily
it's been a cheaper option.
I think Sony looked at it
Sony
more.
doesn't have.
Yeah, I think that Sony looked
Xbox
at that
has,
more.
Nintendo has. Sony doesn't have cheaper options.
I think Sony though primarily looked at that and were
They
like,
made it more expensive actually.
It is.
but you got to think like
Cheapy.
even if they made it like a Steam Deck, like point for point, like it was a Steam
Yeah,
Deck,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
that's still in the same price range as a PS5, and I think that's why Sony was afraid to do something like that. And we all know how well they freaking, actually supported the Vita. It's like, on launch, we made like 20 games. Then what did you do? Nothing!
Well, that's what I'm saying. They had it awesome. The PSP was awesome.
Yeah.
The Vita, they fucked up even though it was ahead of its time.
The Visa.
But now the PS Visa,
The Vita was great.
The
I
Vita
loved
pizza.
it.
The Visa card.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I was hoping they would have learned their lesson and been like, we're going to go back into the handheld market a little bit here, boys. Even if, I mean, it's going to be download only, sure,
Because
whatever.
I think
but
PlayStation is still huffing its PlayStation 4 fumes.
I think, yeah, I think
Because
Sony is
whenever,
still high
like,
off their own success.
The PlayStation 3 came out and it just didn't do well.
Right.
PlayStation 4 came out, oh, freaking gangbusters. And then Sony's all like, yes, we're on top again, baby.
Right.
Because at the time, Nintendo wasn't doing so hot,
Right.
Xbox wasn't doing so hot, but the PlayStation, hey. So I think going into the PS5, I think PlayStation's just sitting there going, ah, yes, smell that.
Do you think
it's me?
Well,
It's
I was
my
gonna say,
own Musk.
with that being said, do you think
Dude.
it's kind of an ego thing? Like, oh, if we would have released it like a Steam Deck or a Switch, we would have been admitting that we need to compete with them. Instead, they're like, well, we're superior. We're the superior console, therefore, like off their PS4 hype.
I think
could
it.
be.
I think it is one of those cases where it is a little bit of Sony pride. Sony's
Yeah.
always been a very like up
We
its
don't want
own
to compete
ass.
with the Game Boy again.
Like as much as
Or
I
the,
like some of the stuff that Sony does, Sony has always been an up their ass type company.
There's a lot of up our ass companies right now.
Yeah, Nintendo is very far up their own ass. Like the only company that like
Xbox is chill.
Xbox is kind of chill, but Xbox is always kind of like they remind you of like that cool guy in class, basically. Like
I think you
it's
said
the
this
guy.
before.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
guy that's clearly a douchebag, but he's the douchebag that is like, it's all right, man.
But if I ask him for a piece of gum, he'll give it to me.
Yeah, he's like the kind of dick that you invite to a party because you're like, you
That's the
gotta
good
invite him.
dick
Yeah,
you need.
it's like you gotta
I
invite
mean, everyone likes him, so he has to be here.
Yeah, but like I don't know, Sony's kind of like the pompous Sony's like the pompous ass like bitchy chick that you always invite because somebody wants to sleep with her, but it's just one of those cases where you're like, yeah, but the headaches. It's like
Yeah, Nintendo's like that dude. It's like, no, man, I've been doing this before it was cool.
Nintendo's like
I'm different than everybody.
Nintendo is your hippie kid. He's literally the guy that's sitting there like, I'm just doing my own thing and
No,
vibing,
no.
man.
Nintendo's definitely the. No, that would be. Well, I don't even know. That'd be just the indie scene, but like.
That'd be Valve, actually. Valve
That'd
just
be
sitting
Valve.
Valve's just sitting there
Exactly.
like, you
Nintendo's
want a
definitely
joint?
no. Nintendo's that guy that's like, oh hey, or somebody comes up to Nintendo and they're like, oh, I just played this new game. It's like, oh, we already did that game before. Like,
He's that annoying guy.
yeah,
that-
like I've already done that before it was cool.
Yeah,
That's how Nintendo exactly is.
Yeah, pretty much. He's the annoying guy that hates
That never
everything
wants to
that's
update,
popular.
but
And
always
for some reason, they're still doing it.
right.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's exactly Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, 4K is cool, but like we got Zelda. So.
Yeah. Did you hear
We
Breath
might
of the
get there
Wild?
eventually.
What about Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears of the Kingdom. Yep, that's Nintendo.
How about that Mario Odyssey, huh?
You know, I really hope, because I know they just got Wonder, but it's because Odyssey came out the same year as the Switch. It was in the end of the year. So I'm hoping, like, because Nintendo historically like to have a Mario game with their console.
Yeah.
I know the last couple didn't do this, but like, I'm kind of hoping since it's been so long since Odyssey that
Dude, they have to have something in the oven.
I would think so, because like, if the
Thank
Switch
God.
2 comes out 2025 now, which we pretty much will, I'm kind of hoping
It's
like
not going to release this year. That's for
I'm
sure.
hoping that first release year comes out with a brand new Mario title, hopefully in the 3D realm again.
Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4, probably the new Pokemon. Like if they bring out 2025 a new console, and like neither Xbox or Sony has it, and they come out with like big hits like that, they're gonna fucking own that entire year, and they're gonna sell like a ton of them.
Here's the thing,
I
said,
and hopefully they have enough printed.
I could
and not like, oh, you can't find it anymore.
I could see Nintendo. Here's the thing,
PS5.
I could see Nintendo doing well, but on that same foot, I could basically see them doing another just like complete blunder.
I think they're gonna be successful.
My bladder's
If they continue on the Switch hype and release at least those 3 big hits that year at different points, they're gonna fucking completely own and they're gonna dominate.
Yeah, but this is Nintendo, so to be honest with you, I'm thinking we have another repeat of like the Switch launch. Okay, I think we'll have another like singular big name title for launch. Okay, and then a couple just here you goes, like, you know, indie game, this, something that. I honestly think
But
that's...
then at the end of the year, we had Odyssey. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You come out with, you release Mario with the Switch, so you have something to buy that day.
Yeah.
The Switch 2. Then somewhere you put Metroid, and at the end of the year you put Pokemon or whatever.
I don't know. As I said, I can see this going 2 completely different ways. I can see it being one of those cases where, like, I've already said before that I really like how simplistic, like, the layout of, like, the Switch is. I don't have, like, Facebook ads flying at me, and I don't have the, like, check out your social network and all that stupid shit everywhere. I like that. But their networking is still a mess. Their online service is still...
Oh, yeah, they still have to fix all that.
That's still a joke for the most part. And then, on top of that, Nintendo has one of the worst things you can give a company, which is the fact that they don't listen to their fan base and they don't listen to their actual...
Oh, thank you. I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah, they don't listen to their fan base, though.
Sneak level 100, damn. No, I didn't. No, that's sneak level, man. That's all those playthroughs of Skyrim you were telling me about.
I didn't know I had that ability.
Anyway.
Josh just brought Justin a glass of tea, and Justin never noticed that Josh grabbed the glass beside him.
Right in front of me.
Oh, Jesus. But the thing is that hurts Nintendo is they don't like to listen. They never like to listen. They're always like, oh, we know what we're doing. And you cannot, if you listen to your fans and you listen to the people that buy your products and make things better off of that, you are going to grow your clientele. You are going to grow your fan base. You are going to basically expound in every way. So I do not understand Nintendo still in this year, in this time, being so dogmatic Nintendo to the point of just being like, what the hell?
See, I think Nintendo banks off people like me, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel this way, where we want to see Nintendo upgrade to the next level, and not just like hardware, but like the online and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also in a place where we're like, we just accept that Nintendo's not going to be that. So whatever they come out with, because we want to play the new Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, we're just going to accept whatever it is, and they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, because, like, the funny thing is, like, as I said, you do not see a lot of people, like, when we were younger, it was one of those cases, like, you were a Sega kid or you were a Nintendo kid, okay? And then as we got older, it was like, well, what handheld are you going to have? It's like, obviously
There's
a
only
Nintendo.
one.
Yeah, it's like, obviously a Nintendo handheld. And then it, like, everybody whose, like, childhood was shaped by Pokemon and Mario and everything like that, though. We're now in our 30s. I'm a Sega kid. I've watched my favorite stuff basically crumble and then come back and then crumble and then come back. I'm used to the cycle at this point, okay? Like, I've seen Sega do amazing things, and then I've also seen Sega release Sonic 06. But, yeah. But the thing is, Sega likes their fans. They listen to their fans. They have entire, like, community mod tournaments and events and stuff like that. Sega is a very great company as far as I'm concerned. Like, they've done a lot of stupid and fucked up shit. Like, every company has at this point. There have been times where Sega has done really crappy and really scummy stuff, but then they're normally like, you know, it's kind of an abusive relationship where they come back and they're like, we're sorry, here's a gift. And we're like, okay.
Hey,
but Nintendo...
super cool dude who is making his own Sonic game, how would you like to work for us?
Yeah.
And make us a nice Sonic game.
But then Nintendo will...
people are gonna love.
Yeah, but Nintendo will turn around, though, and do something really shitty and really scummy, and everybody will hate it. And Nintendo will just be like, well, we're going to keep doing it for a while until enough of you hate us, and then we're going to stop. But you're going to continue to buy our shit because you grew up with our shit, and nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like I was kind of saying already, I'm not defending Nintendo here, but like Nintendo and Sega are in two different positions where Nintendo's ahead of the gaming market and Sega has to rely on what they already have. Or like Nintendo can afford to make mistakes here and there. And then they're gonna release
just barely.
Yeah,
they'll make mistakes.
Happened.
Remember how we talked like they always have some stuff in the background? So they're really good with people, and then they practice different shit to see what they can get away with. And as soon as they hit bottom, they're like, re-release of Ocarina of Time HD. And then it's like, yay, we make money. They're on good terms again, and then they come back down testing other shit, and they just keep going.
But
you want some Skyward Sword, don't you?
Yeah, but the thing that just still pisses me
50th anniversary Skyward Sword HD.
Raw XD.
But the thing that pisses me off about Nintendo, still to this day, though, is the fact that at their age, at where they are currently standing, your fans literally make that company at this point, okay? I can go ahead and grab any kid that didn't grow up with anything Nintendo or anything Xbox or anything PlayStation, and I can put them in front of an Xbox.
They'll play Fortnite.
And they'll play
Roblox.
Yeah, they'll play Fortnite, Roblox, whatever, okay? I can put them in front of a PlayStation, and they'll play whatever as well, okay?
I think most kids, when it comes to like kids, it's definitely you have an Xbox and you play Fortnite and shit, or in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Or you play Nintendo because it's kid friendly. I don't think a lot of kids really have PlayStation too much.
Yeah.
Unless your friends have one.
Yeah, but it's one of those cases, though, that nowadays, when I go ahead and set a kid in front of, like, a Nintendo Switch, half of the kids nowadays are like, we have smartphones, we have TikTok, we have all this shit that is...
Think they're putting
we have mobile games and all this shit. Why would I want to play a console that...
That's why they bought Activision, and that's why Nintendo put games on the fucking phone for once. Even though they said they weren't going to do that before.
Yeah, but it's still one of those cases where it's like, for like a young person coming into the video game...
Spider-Man 2 on fucking iPhone.
Yeah, but for a young kid coming into like the video game market space, like,
up to
I don't see Nintendo having the same appeal they used to have when it comes to that type of thing.
I appeal that.
You appeal that? No, like, honestly, like, think about it this way. When we were teenagers, we were playing a lot of COD, we were playing a lot of Halo, we were playing a lot of, like, everything.
That's because FPS was the thing.
Yeah, okay.
I was not playing God.
I played Black Ops 2 Modern.
World at War, man.
Don't touch me.
Okay. Anyway, no, but, like...
I mean, I played Gears of War, but I never went online with it.
Hardcore online.
Online was the shit for original Gears.
It was...
2 and 3 were my
it was
jam.
terrible.
Gears 2 online really was fucking buggy on day one.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, Gears 2 was awesome.
Yeah, Gears 2 was great. No, but,
Take me back.
that's the thing, though. Like, I don't know a lot of things, especially with
Gears
the
of War
way
shit.
that, like, a lot of media and, like, the way kids are with, like, the Fortnite and YouTube and everything like that.
Mhm.
If you can just bring up, like, oh, check out this cool Nintendo game, and them to just immediately be like, oh, because that's just...
See, I think that's where...
That depends how they're raised.
I think that's what led to a lot of Nintendo's current innovating their games again. Like Mario Odyssey was a huge hit. Mario Kart 8 was just a port over, but it's the biggest selling game of all time. One of
Yeah,
them.
that's crazy.
And then like they reinvented Zelda. Hopefully Metroid is going in the right direction. Pokemon needs a shot in the ass.
Oh,
I think they're learning. But that's not
Yeah,
Nintendo.
Legends
That's
Arceus
Game
was a
Freak.
step in the right direction, I think.
Here's the thing,
Features,
I don't think I'll...
Right.
This is weird, but I really, honestly do
And then
not...
you still have their basics, like, you have Little Peach. Or even Mario Wonder was like reinventing 2D Mario.
I still need to play that.
See,
So good.
Pokemon's still one of those games that's made for like what, 8 to 10, 8 to
Mhm.
12, something like that. Here's the thing.
But
So
they-
it's for
but they-
25-year-old YouTubers.
But
who
they
do
know their
nothing.
audience is like
Yeah.
the people that grew up with it. the
I
90s
really
kids.
don't think that a lot of like children of the age that Pokemon Company or Game Freak thinks should be playing their games is playing their games.
Oh, they are. They're just not the ones you see playing because they don't stream it and shit.
Well, no, but like
Why do you think? I mean, they play. Obviously, they sell millions of copies for a reason. Like
Oh, yeah.
double
Yeah.
digits, millions. But like that's why they also have Worlds for Championships online, where it's all competitive, because they know at the end of the day, it's the '90s kids that are keeping it alive the most.
Yeah.
Kids are gonna play it. They're gonna play the new Pokemon. Cool, maybe beat it, and then usually chuck it aside because they're gonna go on to Fortnite again.
And that just...
Or like as a '90s kid, we would like beat it and be like, "Cool, I'm gonna restart a new save file. I'm gonna pick fucking Bulbasaur this time."
because back then it was like this.
Frontier, baby.
Back then it was
Right.
like, this is the one new game you have, and you have that game and that
and
game
you keep-
alone for the
right.
next 3 months. You know.
Now
And
it's like, well, I can download Fortnite for free and Roblox for free. So after I beat Pokemon, I'm gonna play this.
And that's what I think, and that's what the one thing I think Nintendo's major issue is they do not listen to their fans enough, and they keep basically hedging their bets on nostalgia and being like, look, we released this thing, and then you get all the old school Nintendo fans being like, fuck yeah, Nintendo! You know?
Yeah.
And I honestly think, I hate to say this, but I honestly think that, like, literally, if all the, like, Nintendo fans over the age of, like, 25 went into a coma before the literally like right before the next
That's a weird virus.
literally
25 up.
Literally-
Like Pokemon.
literally
It
though
moves.
like right before
Have
like
you touched a Nintendo console?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you over the age of 25? Yes. Okay, you're done.
no, but like give them like a 3-month coma, okay, like literally right before the next generation of the Nintendo Switch, the next Nintendo console comes out with whatever game.
Oh, boy.
Because I would love to see, like, without that pre-installed boomer fan base that, you know, we effectively are, essentially, what they would actually, like, get as
3
far...
months wouldn't be enough.
Well, no, but just to see how much actually sold within that time period. Because the
That would just be like cutting down, like when the Switch wasn't available. That's no different.
Yeah, but I would seriously, I'd love to just see...
The Switch continues to sell.
Okay, I'd love to see it long enough so I could actually see the implications of how much of Nintendo's sales anymore are from that.
Switch
It's like $300.
Yeah, it's still 300. 350 for the
not,
OLED.
not selling for, but how are its sales numbers compared to like the PS2 and the DS and 3DS?
Oh, where it's at right now?
Well, I can tell you right now, their stock has been steadily going down since, like...
He just wants to know units sold.
Oh, he just wants to know units sold.
Correct. Like in the comparative of
Oh, well,
Wii
the
to
Switch
PS2.
sold like hotcakes when it first came out.
Right,
Like,
but
there was no
comparative
stopping
numbers to
that.
like Game Boy, Wii, this
Oh.
PS2, like the high boys.
Yeah. What do you got for unit count?
It says here nears 140 million.
Do you have a
lifetime sale.
Do you have a guide? that
Do you have
shows
the
like,
comparison
where it's
chart?
I would have to look it up. That might
Type
take some
in
time.
at? Top
so-
selling consoles of all time. It'll pop up.
That's a good idea.
It should be. It should be in the top 10.
Well, it's definitely in the top 10.
I think it's in the top 5, really.
Is it? I didn't think it was that up.
You're gonna have DS,
PS2.
PS2, the Game Boy,
The Wii, of course.
and the Wii.
Oh, yes.
Those are definitely in the top.
Then you got the 360 at some point in there.
No, it really didn't sell. It was very popular for us, but comparative to like the Asian markets and stuff,
Oh yeah.
I
Because
mean,
Xbox.
it's there. It's
yeah.
gonna beat a lot of the other consoles, but
What do we got?
Okay, well, according to Wikipedia, which is not like the most.
Is never dead
Good.
on.
Number 1 is the PlayStation 2 at 155 million.
Yeah.
Got the Nintendo DS with 154.02 million.
Yep. Then we should have
The
the.
Nintendo Switch at 139.36 million.
Oh, did the Switch actually beat out the Wii?
Game Boy and Game Boy
Yeah,
Color.
it did. Apparently, the Switch beat out the Wii.
really,
The Wii only had 101 million units sold. 0.63, but
Yeah, Game Boy and Game Boy Color comes in at number 4 at 118.69 million.
oh yeah,
Nice.
Switch is number 3.
And closing out the top 5 is the PlayStation 4
Yeah, fuck you, Sony.
at 117.
You haven't had anything good since 2000, and that's because you have a freaking DVD player attached.
oh
to
yeah,
it.
the DVD player basically fucking.
It
took-
really just sold it.
It
It's
took
like, I'm gonna
the-
buy this DVD player, and I can also play Metal Gear.
That was the
Solid 2.
biggest mistake that Sega actually made when it came to the Dreamcast was the fact that they did not put a DVD drive in that thing.
Oh yeah, that might have saved them a good bit.
And the thing
But
is,
this is what I'm saying. Like with the Nintendo thing, like they're not gonna pass up this success.
yeah,
And again, out of the top 5 slots, 3 of them are handheld markets. Like you just can't compete. Everybody's on the go,
yeah. I just
especially Asia, where they're always walking. and
Yeah,
shit,
the thing is,
on-
though, it's
on
just-
a bus or a train or
the thing is though is I just still have that mentality that pride cometh before the fall. So it's just like
No, I think they're learning a lot.
Because that's kind of how the Wii went, and then, it's just...
I have good vibes.
The circle
As the big Nintendo fan around here, Mr. Sega Fail Pants.
Fail Pants?
I'm going to tell you how it is. So let me lay down a fucking...
Fail Pants.
Yeah. Where's your Sonic bitch ass now?
He's a third party.
The new game was really good.
I forget things.
Yeah.
Oh,
where's my Sonic 06 remake, Sega?
Speaking of, you said about, hey, random dude making a Sega game, or Sonic game, do you want to make games for us? Wasn't it the Mania team that made that weird yo-yo game or whatever that was? You were playing it the other day. I seen you on the Switch.
Oh, yeah. Shit, what is that called?
But didn't they make it? I think they did.
Was that Cannon Head Studio, or was that a Sean Whitehead?
Sean White.
Head.
The snowboarder.
Not Sean Whitehead. Christian Whitehead, sorry.
Wow. White Christians. I can't just keep saying this.
Christian Whitehead was the guy who did a lot of the stuff for Sonic Mania.
I want Xenohead.
Don't we all, baby?
After Josh finds out what the name of this game is, we're going to podcast out.
Podcast out. Peace.
Peace, motherfuckers.
Hell, it's called yo-yo.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I do.
Because you were playing it.
You know what? I'm going to put it up as an end cap. If you guys want to switch over from your second monitor and look, this is what it is.
You just assume everybody has second monitors?
Yeah.
You rich, prestigious asshole.
Oh, yes. Just shove your money in my face.
Peace.
Peace.